Hello again, Mike here with another video, and today I wanted to do one on what I love about the iPhone in 2024. Now, a couple weeks ago I did one which was exactly the opposite of this, which you guys are welcome to watch. But in that one I basically outlined what I don't like about the iPhone or iOS in 2024. So obviously the iPhone's not all bad, iOS is not all bad. So in this video I wanted to share what I like about the iPhone in 2024. So let's get into it. All right, so the first thing I want to talk about, and these are in no particular order, but it's Face ID. Now, obviously, Face ID's been around now for a few generations, and in my opinion, it's the best face unlock on any type of phone that you can get. It's the most secure and it just works, and I really enjoy using Face ID. So the next thing I want to talk about, or my next favorite thing, is Apple Pay / Apple Cash. So if you know people that are in the Apple ecosystem, which you probably do, or your family also, if they have iPhones, Apple Cash is really the most convenient, fastest, and free way to actually send money amongst your guys' selves. And also just Apple Pay itself works fantastic, especially when you combine it with Face ID. It just makes it quick, easy. You just whip out your phone, you look at it, and you can pay, and you're on your way with your latte. The next feature that I really love, which is obviously is available on iPhone 13s and above, is MagSafe. Now, since MagSafe has came out, there's tons, literally hundreds, if not thousands of MagSafe accessories now that you can find on Amazon or other third-party accessories. But personally, I use it when I want to charge my phone, and I also have a little MagSafe wallet that I like to use, which again works good, lasts a long time. The magnets are extremely strong, and I'm using an iPhone 13 mini, and the magnets on this work just as good as they do on any of the newer ones. The next feature that I want to talk about is what really locks people into the Apple ecosystem. So once you start buying more than one Apple device, this is kind of how they get you, but it's the continuity between devices. For example, if I want to do a copy and paste on my iPhone, I can paste it to my Mac or my iPad and vice versa. It works really nice. So if you have more than one Apple device, you really can't beat the continuity. And that's kind of how they lock you into it. But it is also one of the best features if you're in that ecosystem. Now, included in that continuity is AirDrop, which obviously, if you've got an iDevice, then you definitely know what AirDrop is and just how convenient and fast it is when you want to share files between devices or between your friends who also have iDevices. Next on my list of my favorite features of the iPhone is just the Find My app. So obviously, again, if you've got more than one iDevice, you can use the Find My device to locate it. So if you misplace something, or if you've got AirTags, it definitely works well. And it's just a good way if you lose your iPhone, keys, whatever you want. If you've got it registered within that Find My, then it's super easy to find. So if you have it registered with that Find My network, then it's just super easy to find. Just grab one of your other iDevices, or if you do family sharing, you can grab one of your kids, wife, whatever, look at their phone to help find your phone or whatever device you may have lost. The next feature that I really like is FaceTime. Now, I personally don't really care about iMessage, the whole green bubble, blue bubble. I don't really care, but I will say I do like FaceTime. It works well. It's just seamless when you're trying to talk to another iDevice, and I really don't think there's anything that's quite as good as FaceTime, in my opinion, if you're going just for straight video calling. So FaceTime is definitely a plus for the iPhone in 2024. The next feature is something that many people may take for granted and not realize they even have it if they have an iPhone. And it really sounds like a simple thing, but it's just being able to check your battery health. To me, looking at my battery health just lets me know, hey, I might want to start looking at getting a new phone, or see if I want to get my battery replaced. And I really haven't found anything that's quite as detailed on Android, and I switch back and forth all the time. I'm currently using a Surface Duo 2, and there's really no way that I can check the battery health like I can with the iPhone itself. So right now I have the iPhone 13 mini, and the battery health is down to 86%. So I use that as a litmus for when I want to go get a new battery. So once that drops to 80, I'm going to go to the Apple Store, pay my 89 bucks, and get a new battery put in it. So being able to check your battery health while seems like a minor thing is actually pretty sweet, and I'm glad it's included within iOS. The next thing I really like about the iPhone or iOS is just the native reminders app. If you've yet to try it out, I highly recommend it. It's basically like the Microsoft To-Do app. It's just a quick way where you can make yourself little lists that you need to complete, tasks you need to complete. I personally use it for like bill pay reminders, but I've got it set up on my iPhone, and I also mirrored it within the Microsoft To-Do app. So if I go back and forth between devices, I can pretty much do the same thing. But within Apple itself, it's actually a really good app. And if you've not used it, I highly recommend you delve into it and give it a look. Now, the next thing I really like about iOS or the iPhone is just software updates. Now, recently, Pixel's stepped up the game along with Samsung with their S24 series, and they're promising 7 years of updates. But prior to like a month ago, Apple has really been the industry standard when it comes to how long they support their devices with their software updates. So I guess we'll see if Apple actually steps up their game and tries to leapfrog Samsung and Google with their 7 years. But really, I have never had any complaints with how long Apple supports their devices. Now, the final thing that I like about the iPhone or iOS is Apple CarPlay. Now, I go back and forth between Android and iPhone quite frequently. I mean, weekly to monthly. So I'm always jumping between either my iPhone or an Android. And when I get in my car, there is definitely a difference when it comes to the difference between Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. Now, the functionality is pretty much equal. I don't necessarily see a winner when it comes to functionality, but using the exact same vehicle, it just seems like Apple CarPlay just looks a lot better. For whatever reason, Android Auto always kind of looks less crispy and washed out. It's like I'm looking at 720p with Android Auto, and I'm looking at 1080p with Apple CarPlay. Now again, the functionality, I don't really see much of a difference. They seem to work equally as well, but if you're into aesthetics, I just think that for whatever reason, the Apple CarPlay is just brighter, punchier colors. So, if you've got an Android device laying around and an iPhone, go in your car, check it out. You'll see what I'm talking about. For whatever reason, Apple's colors tend to look better on the display in my vehicle. And like I said, I'll use the same vehicle with Android or Apple, and I don't know why, but the colors just look punchier and brighter with CarPlay. But with that, I'm curious what you guys think. What are some of the favorite features that you like about iOS or your iPhone here in 2024? This list is obviously not all inclusive, but it's what jumps out to me when I use them, because again, I go between Android and iOS quite often, and these are the things that I've noticed when I go between the two. So as always, I appreciate you guys watching. If you enjoyed this, make sure you give it a like, and if you want to see when I drop my next video, feel free to subscribe. Thanks.